You ever see a broke man with no direction get the woman of his dreams? No, because a man who doesn't build himself first is a man who settles for distractions, settles for mediocrity, settles for a life where he's always chasing but never becoming. See, the world wants you to think you need a girlfriend to be complete. They say you should have someone by your side, that being alone is some kind of failure. But let me tell you something, being lost in a relationship is the real failure. How many men do you know who drop their dreams the moment they get a woman? How many waste time, money, and energy on someone who doesn't even respect them because they never respected themselves first? Being single is not a weakness. It's an opportunity to build yourself without distractions. People make it seem like being single is some kind of failure, like you're missing out, like something is wrong with you if you don't have a girlfriend. But let me ask you, what's worse? A man who's alone but focused, disciplined, and building his future, or a man who's in a relationship that drains him, distracts him, and pulls him away from his purpose? The truth is, most men don't know how to be alone. They think they need someone to complete them. They jump into relationships not because they're ready, but because they're afraid of solitude. And that fear makes them weak. It makes them desperate. It makes them settle for less than they deserve. A strong man sees his time alone as an opportunity. No obligations, no distractions, no unnecessary drama. Just time to focus on himself, to sharpen his mind, strengthen his body, and create the life he wants. Because when you strip away the noise, what's left? The raw version of you. And if you don't like what you see in the mirror, no woman is going to fix that for you. Most men spend their 20 cents chasing relationships instead of chasing greatness. They invest their energy into someone else instead of investing in themselves. Then one day they wake up, look around, and realize they've built nothing for themselves. They spent years giving instead of growing, and when the relationship ends, they have nothing. No purpose, no vision, no foundation. A woman should add to your life, not be. If you're not where you want to be, if you haven't built the man you need to be, then what are you even bringing to the table? A real man doesn't chase validation. He doesn't need a girlfriend just to prove something to society. He walks his own path, and when the time is right, the right woman will recognize his value. But that only happens when you take the time to build yourself first. So don't waste this season of your life feeling incomplete. Use it, develop discipline, master your craft, learn to enjoy your own company. Because the man who can stand alone is the man who will never have to settle. Most men waste their energy chasing women. They think the more they pursue, the more they win. But in reality, the more they chase, the more they lose. Time, money, focus, all of it gets drained chasing someone who was never the goal in the first place. Look around. How many men do you see living paycheck to paycheck, not because they're broke, but because they spend every dime trying to impress someone? How many guys are exhausted, not from working on themselves, but from constantly texting, calling, and trying to keep up with a woman who barely even respects them? The problem isn't relationships, the problem is priorities. A man who hasn't built anything for himself has no business making a woman his priority. Yet that's exactly what most men do. They wake up every day thinking about how to get her attention instead of thinking about how to get better. They memorize her favorite color but haven't read a single book in years. They take her on expensive dates but won't invest a dime into improving their own lives. And then when the relationship falls apart, they're lost because they weren't building themselves. They were building their lives around someone else. A man's focus should be his mission first, his goals, his purpose, his personal growth. Everything else comes after that. When you spend your energy developing discipline, stacking skills, getting stronger, making more money, and becoming more valuable, you won't need to chase anyone because the right people will come to you. Think about the most powerful, successful, respected men in history.
Milano?
Rich dark chocolate hidden between delicate cookies? Wow.
For attention, they weren't rearranging their schedules to accommodate someone who didn't care about them. They were too busy becoming something great. And because of that, people, including women, naturally gravitated toward them. When a man has purpose, when he's obsessed with his mission, he doesn't have time to chase. And ironically, that's when he becomes most attractive. Because nothing is more powerful than a man who knows where he's going. But if you waste your energy chasing temporary distractions, you'll never have the strength to build something lasting. A man who spends his life chasing women will never have enough time to chase success. And the man who chases success, he never has to chase anything else. Love should add to your life, not define it. A relationship is not supposed to be your entire world. It's supposed to complement the world you're already building. But too many men get it backwards. They think finding the right woman will magically fix their problems. They think once they have a girlfriend, life will suddenly make sense. But that's not how it works. If you're unhappy, a relationship won't make you happy. If you're broke, a relationship won't make you rich. If you have no direction, a relationship won't give you purpose.